Ladies and gentlemen, it's Narlin here, your mate, and we're here with another Skull and Bones video. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere, because today we are looking at a couple of comparisons between two different Demi-Cannons. So if you're a little bit keen on the Demi-Cannons, I am about to do a wee comparison video for you. So without further ado, we are going to have a look at the first cannons that I've got in place here. So let's have a look at, we'll go to manage ship first, that'll always help. So the first cannons on the block today are the Thunder Dragon cannons. Now, I know a lot of people quite like these cannons, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe these are the cannons that you get for that frigate mission that you get at the start of the season. So these, I believe, are the same cannons. Now, we'll have a look at the info on these ones. So the Dragon Thunder cannons, they do lightning strikes and ripping sails. So each volley, let's have a look, we'll read through it together. Each volley of cannon fire on enemy sails has a chance of summoning a lightning strike that deals 5,000 electric damage. Every 5 hits adds 15% chance up to a maximum of 45%. Lightning strike damage increases to 10,000 if the target has torn sails. So quite significant if you are aiming for the sails. As you can see with these ones, I've actually added tearing damage and electric damage. These are the defaults. I've added increased damage, increased build-up of a vulnerable status, and amplified electric to these particular ones. The other ones that I have on the other side, these ones just have some electrical damage, severe damage, and another amplified electric damage. So that's how these things are kitted out. Now, personally, I'm not somebody who aims for the sails. I'm always aiming for the body of the ship. But we're going to go and do a wee test on these right now. You can see it in real time how these things look. Once we've done this, the other Demi-Cannons that we're going to look at is going to be the Kleine Kartouwe. I think that's the way you pronounce them, the Kleine Kartouwe Demi-Cannons. Now, I've just upgraded a whole bunch of those, and we're going to have a look and see which ones are the better ones as we sail out of St. Anne. Look at that beautiful afternoon in the world of Skull and Bones. So we're going to go pick a fight. Not with those smaller ships, obviously. We're going to try and find something a little bit bigger. One of the new features of Season 2 is these wind gusts, so you can see the ocean. There's a little bit of a shimmer going over the ocean there, and the wind is at our back, so we're only doing 15 knots, so a little bit surprising there that we're not going super fast. Not finding any decent sized ships to take on, but we will find something. You can see there that there's some pieces of 8 waiting for collection at one of my manufactories. So we're going to go and take on this little level 12 over here, just so we can have a look at what this ship is capable of with these Demi-Cannons on board. There you go, took them out pretty quickly. So those cannons, these are specific to sail damage. So I believe somebody in the comments on one of my last videos actually made mention to this as well, that that these cannons are very good for that sail damage. You can see, now they don't do a huge amount of damage, but it is kind of like a shotgun, so you can see that these ships aren't lasting too long. So what we're going to do is we're actually not going to sail back to St. Anne. We're going to sail across to this little port here, and we're going to take out a couple of ships as we go. And then once we get to the new port, we're going to equip the Kleine Kartouwe and see what they do as well. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos, and if you are, please make sure to give us a like. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and also feel free to make a comment as well. I don't always respond to comments straight away, but I do get to them eventually, so if there's anything you want to add, criticize if you must, or anything, any message of support would be great, guys. Now we've got some bigger ships here, so we're going to have a go at attacking them. Now the only other thing about these sort of Demi-Cannons is the range on them is only about 400 meters, or 500 yards I think it is. So making light work of these ships here. Very light work of these ships. Oh. Don't know if we want to crash into the compagnie at this stage, but they are hostile, so let's give them a go. So you have to adjust with any type of cannon in the game. You kind of have to adjust with the long guns. It's going to be a lower shot, so you're going to be down here. With your normal cannons, it's probably going to be up here, and with the Demi-Cannons, it's going to be a bit higher, just so you can make the range. Although, as you can see there, I just went straight over the top of the sky. So quite a bit of damage there to the sails. Not a bad gun. At the moment I've been using my Nash cars because they do have the healing ability with the critical damage shooting. And I have been enjoying that because having a little bit of healing does certainly help. Not even going to bother killing that guy. It's all about you guys with this video, so as we're about 1,300 meters out from port. So you can see these guns do quite a bit of damage. They are quite, well, I like them, to be honest with you. I like them a lot better than I thought I would. The only issue with these guns is the amount of damage they do, because when I have equipped them in the past, I've usually equipped them to the back of my ship. They tend not to do a huge amount of damage. Everything on the port and starboard side, you're always going to get that damage increase because broadsides are obviously better than your front or rear guns. So as we come into port here, we're going to have a look at a couple of other things, just do a little bit more of an analysis on these guns before I switch them over to the Kleine Kartouwe. Alright, so let's just have another look at these guns before we move on. So the other important part here, the other thing that I always look at as well is gun ports. So it's utilising all 13 gun ports on the side there. The range is 400 meters, so less than your normal cannons and your long guns. So your normal cannons are about 600 meters, and your long guns tend to be about 1,000 meters. So they, yes, these are shorter range weapons. Reload time is generally better than your normal cannons. So with that being said, so that's the Thunder Dragon cannons that we've just looked at there. We're now going to switch over to, oh, my beautiful Nash cars. No, we're not going to do that. We're now going to switch over to these Kleine Kartouwe. I think that's the way you pronounce it. So you can see that the damage is less, the range is a lot less. Alright. So that's a big thing there, but you can see the actual combat rating on these are 130. These are actually my highest combat rating weapons, strangely enough. So we've equipped them on that side, we're going to equip them on the other side. If I can find them in my, with all my rear weaponry here. There they are. So you see the second one's, the combat rating there is only 114. So lower range. At this stage, the Thunder Cannons are slightly better in the way of range and damage. So let's go and compare these and see what they do. Now, these weapons here, I should have brought this information up, but we will have a look at the end. So we're actually going to go pick a fight with these fellas over here. So we'll have another closer look at these cannons when we get back to port. I'm going to attack these ships, and then we're going to turn straight back around, and we can have another closer look at that. So the range is less. Let's have a look and see. As you can see, they didn't even make it. Wow, look at that. So quite a bit of damage there at close range. Wow, that captain's having a bad day, isn't he? Right, let's have a look at this. Look at that, 2 ships at once. So very, very powerful at short range, these guns. They sound pretty sexy too when you fire them. I'm not going to lie, that sounds very cool. So I think the Dragon Thunder Cannons are doing more damage per volley, if we compare the two. Although these sound so good, don't they? Now the other thing with these cannons is that you do get the you do get a chance of a critical explosion. As you can see, that's kind of happened on that other ship there close to us. It's making very light work of these ships here. Look at that. So absolute mincemeat with these ships. It's a beautiful gun, I have to say, and I'm not a big fan of Demi-Cannons just because of the range limitations with them. But where these differ from the Dragon Thunder Cannons is that those are more for sail damage. This doesn't make the distinction between sail damage and hull damage, so see, they look very, very good, don't they? Be interesting to see how they go up against a boss, but you can see there's a lot more critical damage here with these guns. And rightfully so, these captains are running away, as they should too. Now that was interesting because you could see the broadside damage there was a lot more significant than the side-on damage. So you really want to get on broadside with them. Beautiful guns. Really interested to know your comments, your thoughts on which guns you would prefer out of these two. Now with these you can actually purchase them from Blackwood. I believe, pretty sure that's where I got these from, but look, this is a hard call, to be honest, between the two different guns. As I just come screaming into the dock there. So let's have another look at these cannons in more detail. I actually quite enjoyed those ones. The Kleine Kartouwes were actually a lot of fun there. So let's have a look at these details. So delayed explosions can trigger a secondary delay explosion. 13 gun ports there. We did talk about the damage being less and the range being less. Imminent bang, so hits have 3% chance to inflict a deadly explosion that deals 7,500 damage in a 65 meter radius after 4 seconds. May only inflict 1 delayed attack per target. Okay. Adds 30% of damage as explosive damage. You can see that I've got my upgrades on there as well. So overall, quite a sexy little demi-cannon there. That one was, well, I kind of enjoyed that. So really, just let me know in the comments section which ones you prefer, and if you're actually running those guns. I'm still running my Nash cars at the moment. Those are still my prime guns, but I will be looking at the Naga's Call. So we might be looking at a comparison between the Lang Kartouwe, the long guns, these ones here, which I have actually run before, and there is some other guns there that I want to have a look at. I can't quite. I think it's the Naga's Call from the top of my head. So we might be doing a comparison in the next few days as to those two guns. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video, guys. Nice and short one. It's kind of fun to play with these Demi-Cannons. So by all means, chuck them on, see if you like them. Until the next video, it's your mate Narlin. Have a good one.